Okay, we're doing 3, 5, and I asked to do 22. Now, if you're good at factoring, this one's pretty easy to do, but if you're not, we'll do it the other way. So let's just look at this. There's no common number, but there's an x squared and everything. So if I pull the x squared out, factor it out, this becomes 6x squared minus 5x minus 9. And I can just plug this in the quadratic formula. Now, before I do that, I've typed it in y1, so I'm going to go zoom 6, and I'll see that it bounced at 0, so x squared would cause it to, that's 0 at 0. It would be an x-intercept at 0, and it's a bounce, so it's squared. So it's telling me to factor out the x squared. The rest, I don't know that it does factor. So I'll just go right straight to the quadratic formula. And I'm going to do, let me get a piece of paper here. I'm going to do the opposite of b plus or minus the square root of b squared. It's always positive, so just don't even look at the sign on that part. 5 squared, 25. Minus 4 times a plus times a minus is going to be plus, because there's two minuses, the minus 4 and the minus 9. 9 times 6 is 54 times 4 is 224. All over 2 times a. So I've got 5 plus or minus the square root of 249 over 12, if I haven't made a mistake. So square root of 249 is a messy decimal. And if I add 5 to it, and then take that answer and divide it by 12, I have one of mine. And I'm doing this only to check. 1.731. Go back to the graph. 1.731. That looks about right. I'm going to check it. Second, on my calculator, I go second, calculate the 0. Second, calculate the 0 that's between 1 and 3. 1, enter, 3, enter. It's about 2, and it says it's 1.710. What did I have before? 1.7316, so close. I wonder if I made a mistake in my arithmetic here. 6 times 9 is 54. 54 times 4 is 216. Oh, I did make a mistake. 216. So let's go back and do this again. 25 plus 216 is 241. So 241 plus 5 divided by 12, 70 whatever. That's what the calculator gave me. So there's one of the correct ones. So I found out my mistake here. 241. Did my math in my head. So the zeros, the real zeros exact for this are 0 and 5 plus the square root of 241 over 12 and 5 minus the square root of 241 all over 12. Okay. Now let's do this one. Now you can get the approximate ones by typing it in and tapping off with Desmos, but I wanted the exact. Let's get the exact ones for here. Well, there's no number that comes out and nothing do this, but if I think of z as x to the third, this would be z squared, because z squared would be this squared, which is x to the sixth. So I can think of this as 2z squared minus 9z plus 10. That factors to 2z and z. And if I put 2 here and 5 here, both of them minus, that'll make a plus 10, and I get, I don't want that. I'm going to put the 5 here and the 2 here. Negative 4z minus 5z is minus 9z. So z would have to be 5 halves, 2 1/2, 2.5, and z would have to be 2. And z was x to the third, so it's the cube root of 2.5 and the cube root of 2. Those are the real zeros. Let's do it like we're not real. Let's see, is there a way to do this otherwise? I don't think so. If I graph this one on, let's get rid of this one, and that's this one. We're not going to see anything but messy numbers. It bounces. Ooh, did I type that in right? 2x to the 6 minus 9x to the third plus 10. Zoom 4. Let's see what it looks like here. It looks like it might cross right there. Let's zoom in on this place. Oh, it does. Zoom in again. Crosses at 2 different places. Second, calculate the 0 that's between here and here, and this is close to it, and it says 1.259921, and the other one's over here. Second, calculate the 0 that's between here and here, go back, and it says it's at 1.3572, blah, 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 blah. Let's check our answers. See, one of them was cube root of 2.5. Cube root, easiest way to do that is 2.5 to the, oops, get out of this, 2.5 to the 1/3 power is the cube root, 1.3720880. So there's one of them. The other one was the cube root of 2. 2 to the 1/3 is the cube root, and that's the other one. So this one, there's no way to do the techniques we've been doing to get the exact answers. You do have to factor. And so you have to do this. Think of x to the 6th as x. You could do it this way without doing the z thing. You can think of this as 2x to the 6th minus 9x cubed plus 10 as 2x to the third times x to the third, which makes that. And to make 10, you're going to have to do 2 and 5, or 5 and 2. And they'd both have to be minus. And this makes minus 4x cubed minus 5x cubed, which is minus 9x cubed. And then you have to set these equal to 0. 2x to the third minus 5 equals 0. Add 5 to both sides. Divide by 2. And take the cube root. And x equals the cube root of 2.5. And do the same with this one, and you would get x equals the cube root of 2. Okay, that's 3/5.